Hello and welcome to this CrowdProperty funding opportunity for the development site at Bridgeview Nurseries, Church Lane in Calstock in Cornwall, the postcode PL18 9QJ. Now, CrowdProperty is a peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority under permission number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loans you make, and just like all peer-to-peer lending, your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders. This is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. The site is located in the village of Calstock in Cornwall. The development site is situated in an area of outstanding natural beauty overlooking the Tamar Valley. The plot is approximately 3.71 acres of former nurseries with planning permission in place to build 33 dwellings. Full planning has been granted by Cornwall Council with all conditions discharged. The site is split into 4 separate parts. CrowdProperty will take the first legal charge on 3 of these 4 parcels of land, and the 4th parcel of land will be sold separately by the borrower for self-build projects. The total facility being offered to the borrower is 1.85 million on this first site. So the first site phased raise will be £500,000. This will contribute towards the land clearance, the infrastructure and groundworks, and some monies will be used to begin the first phase made up to the first 10 properties. The site was purchased for £1 million. It's unencumbered, and the borrower bought it in December 2018, having exercised an option to purchase the land that he'd held for the previous 10 years. The RICS valuation of the land in its existing condition is £1.29 million, and the RICS estimate of the completed Phase 1 development, the gross development value, is £3.348 million. It's for an 18 months maximum loan term, with first charge security being given on all 3 parcels of land comprising the development. So here's the site, and just to clearly explain what's happening, this is the land that's owned by the developer, all of that section there. This particular section is excluded. This is where they're going to have the self-build 5 properties that's nothing to do with this particular project. There's part 1, part 2 and part 3, and all of those parts CrowdProperty will have first charge security to protect all lenders. In this particular webinar we're looking at part 1 just here, which is made up of 10 houses, and there will be 4 raises of money within the 1.85 million that we're looking to raise on this particular part 1. This is the first phase raise of 500,000 on just this part 1. So Calstock is a village in southeast Cornwall. The development site is situated in a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is an area of outstanding natural beauty. The site is located about 7 miles southwest of Tavistock, accessible via the A390, and 17 miles or thereabouts north of Plymouth, accessible via the A388. The village offers a primary school, there's a village hall, several pubs as well as a boatyard. The site has views across the railway viaduct which carries the Tamar Valley Railway. The site benefits from Calstock railway station, which is just 2-minute walk away from this site, and the station provides 9 trains a day to Plymouth, with the journey taking about 30 minutes. From Plymouth, direct trains can be taken to London Paddington. The site total is 3.71 acres. CrowdProperty will take first charge on 3 acres of this site, which is the land for parts 1, 2 and 3 of the development. And this former nursery has been fallow for a few years and is open land. The site is situated within Cornwall Council and benefits from detailed planning consent. The reference number is PA17/09575, where permission has been granted for the development of 33 houses. 5 of these plots will be sold separately for self-build projects, and the loan facility that is agreed on just the first site is £1.85 million, and that will provide funding for Site 1 works, which comprises of 10 dwellings. The first phase raise of this first site is £500,000 and will provide monies towards the site clearance, infrastructure and commencement of the groundworks. The borrower intends to sell the properties from this very first site upon completion of the works. It's for an 18 months loan term with first charge security being offered to all lenders. So here's the site. It's here, just near to Gunners Lake. There's Tavistock coming through into Cornwall at Callington, and it's just here in Calstock, just the other side of the River Tamar. You can see winding its way through there. Here's some photos of the site. A beautiful site, area of outstanding natural beauty. And the site is located then in the village of Calstock, which is situated between the towns of Tavistock and the city of Plymouth, which is about 7 miles and 17 miles respectively. The village has a population of around about 6,500 people. The village is situated within an area of outstanding natural beauty and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, making the area popular with holidaymakers. The village also benefits from several amenities: Calstock Community Private School, there's Calstock Village Hall, the Boot Inn, which is a public house, then the Tamar Inn, all of those sort of between 0.3 and 0.4 miles away. Calstock train station is very close, it's just 285 feet away. The Yacht Club is just over half a mile away, and Coat Hill House, which is National Trust, is around about 3 miles away. The first phase development then is a total site of 1.534 acres, total of 10 houses on this first site of the development, and the dwellings will be made up of 3 and 4 bedroom properties, with 50% of them being affordable housing and 50% with open market value and being sold. There is also Section 106 in place, which specifies the affordable housing requirements. The total loan facility for this phase is £1.85 million, and this first phase raise of that 1.85 is for £500,000. The monies will go towards site clearance, infrastructure works, and begin construction for part 1 of the development. Works already started to clear part of the site, and it's anticipated there will be a further 3 raises offered during the remainder of 2019 as the construction works progress. So that's the first part then that we're talking about. This is what the funding is that we're talking about here on this site. £500,000 as the first raise towards the £1.85 million towards building property on this part 1. So here's what they're doing on this first phase. Plots 1 to 5 are open market value, a mixture of 3 and 4 bedroom detached properties. Then plots 6 through to plot 10 are the affordable houses, a mix of 3 bedroom semis, a 4 bedroom semi, and also some terraced properties. Here's what they look for: the proposed floor plans of plots 1 and 2, 4 bedroom detached open market value properties, looking quite stunning there. Open lounge as you go through the front door into a cloakroom, then open lounge taking you upstairs then into the 4 bedrooms in this case, which is bedrooms 2, 3 and 4, and bedroom 1, the master bedroom here on the right hand side. Downstairs you then got a kitchen diner with a utility. Moving on to some of the other plots, plot 3, this is a 3 bedroom detached open market value, slightly different design. As you can see there on the right hand side, it's got a double garage, which is accessed via the utility, which then leads on to the kitchen. The next plots are 4 and 5, a 3 bedroom detached that has 2 parking spaces. These again are open market value to be sold. And you're coming through the front door, there's a cloakroom on the left into a lounge space, which then goes through into a kitchen diner, and upstairs there are 3 bedrooms. And then plots 6 and 7, these are the affordable properties, 3 bedrooms, semi-detached, 2 parking spaces here, and you're coming through the front doors, again a cloakroom downstairs into the living room with a kitchen diner, then upstairs where you've got 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. And then plots 8, 9 and 10, there's a 4 bedroom property here, and then 2 3 bedroom semi-detached properties. And these properties again coming through into the lounge. It's slightly different here on the 4th bedroom here, the slightly larger plot, because that does have a separate lounge. You don't go straight through as you do with these others into the lounge. But then there's a separate kitchen, dining room, utility room on this one, and then bedrooms upstairs here, 4 bedrooms on these and 3 bedrooms on the other 2 properties. So the current market value of the site is £1.29 million, verified by RICS. The site is owned by the borrower with no debt. The estimated build cost is £1.85 million. That's an estimate by a quantity surveyor. And the total gross development value of this completed site, the first site development, is £3.348 million, verified by RICS. The gross development value of phase 1, this first site, plus the land values of plots 2 and 3. 1.85 million is what the total loan facility is for this first site, the part 1 of those sites, and it's been agreed to be raised in 4 phases. This is the first phase, which is £500,000, and will be drawn down to fund the site clearance, the infrastructure and the start works on the development of this first site. The exit strategy, remember, is to sell the properties. The total loan facility then is 1.85, raised in those 4 phases, with this first phase raise of £500,000. Then £500,000 will be drawn down on day 1 and secured against the land value of 1.29 million. The remaining loan facility will be raised in 3 further phases, with the initial loan to value being 38.8%, loan to value at the project completion of 61.6%, including the rolled up interest, secured with a first charge against the 3 plots of land, paying 8% per annum interest, and the interest is paid at the end of the project. Remember, the maximum loan period is 18 months, the minimum loan period is 6 months, and this loan is targeted to commence on the 15th of March 2019. So here's the borrowers. The land associated with this development is held under 3 separate companies. You can see the company registration numbers on your screen. Those 3 companies are Bridgeview LL10 Limited, Bridgeview SHLL10 Limited, Bridgeview TL8 Limited. And please note, this loan facility is for part 1 of the development, but CrowdProperty is taking first charge over all 3 parcels of land stated above. The directors for the companies are Michael White and Adele Fulner. Michael has 25 years in property development experience, and he co-owns a construction company with Adele called Construction Partners Limited. Michael and Adele's company, Construction Partners Limited, will be utilised to undertake the build, with more specialised development processes such as plumbing and groundworks being undertaken on a subcontractor basis. Michael's been involved in 4 large development projects in the last 4 years alone, which equate to over £7 million in combined gross development values. These builds have all been constructed by Construction Partners Limited. Adele supports the business through managing the accounts and the administration of all the development projects. The professional team that are being used, well, the borrowers will be undertaking their own building, utilising their company, Construction Partners Limited, and project managing the developments with their team both on-site and remotely in their offices. The following services have been subcontracted out. So the engineers, they're using IJR Consulting Limited. The highways and drainage is Paul Southcott. The groundwork consultants are Terra Firma South. And some of the other projects that they've been working on with these architects, ARA Architects, were founded nearly 50 years ago and provided architectural design as well as construction management. The adjacent image there is for a development that ARA Architect was involved in for the creation of 6 individual dwellings in Exeter. The development was built into the hillside on the challenging topographical site. Here's a case study for you. Cypress Road in Exmouth. It's a build of 8 executive houses, 1,800 square feet each of them, close to Exmouth Beach. Purchase price 1.1 million, build costs of 2.3 million, with a GDV of 4.2 million pounds. And further case study here in Exeter Road, Exmouth. It was a build of 2 executive 6-bedroom detached houses. Modern method of construction used was porotherm block. Purchase price £225,000, build cost £350,000, and GDV of £1.1 million. Now, CrowdProperty, of course, believes in responsible lending and borrowing. The amount of this loan is based on the project and the experience of the developers. The total that CrowdProperty has agreed to lend is £1.85 million, based on 4 tranche raises for this first part of the development. The first raise is £500,000, and the initial day 1 draw will be for £500,000 against a land value of £1.29 million and a loan value of 38.8%. The outturn loan to value will be 61.6% when you include the rolled up interest based on the RICS gross development value of £3.348 million. CrowdProperty will have the first charge to protect lenders in the event of any default. The loan term is a maximum of 18 months and the borrower's exit strategy is to sell. This loan is targeted to commence on the 15th of March 2019. Now please be advised that due to unprecedented product demand and as a result of user feedback, CrowdProperty has introduced a pledge limit for this project on a trial basis. This is to give those that take valuable time to perform necessary due diligence the greatest opportunity to successfully pledge at 10 o'clock when this goes live on Tuesday the 26th of February. Pledges will be limited to £5,000 for the first 5 minutes that the project is live. And then from 6 minutes past 10, pledges greater than £5,000 can be created, or if you've already pledged 5,000 in the first 5 minutes, you can go back and increase your pledge should you want to, subject to there being availability of extra funding required on this particular project. So your next steps then are please to make sure that you understand the loan, carry out your own due diligence on both the developer and on the project, and then decide how much you would like to lend. Go to crowdproperty.com and pledge on launch, which is Tuesday the 26th of February. You can preview this from the early morning, but it will go live as a project from 10 AM on Tuesday the 26th of February. And then CrowdProperty will conduct the necessary anti-money laundering checks on people wanting to invest on this project, and then you'll be invited to send your funds to your very own CrowdProperty secure account, and you'll start earning interest on completion of the loan agreement. So thank you for watching this webinar. I hope it's of interest to you, and we hope that you can support us on this particular project.